All right then, welcome to another fucking video. Well, let us discuss the sad truth about tonality in sales. I shall reveal it today. But before we really start with that, let's just discuss, well, what the fuck does tonality even is and why every sales trainer and coach out there in the market is literally telling that this is the secret, this is the hack, this is the trick that you have to do so that you can just close all the time, but no one really knows how to do it. No one really knows how to actually use it and in what moments. And it's confusing as hell. So I'm going to shed a lot of light into this. I'm going to give absolute clarity. So just stay tuned and enjoy this video. Okay. Now, I'm going to explain how it properly works. I'm going to give you examples. I'm even going to tell you why I like to call this the sad truth when it comes to manipulation. So stay. In case you don't know me, my name is Lucas Guy. I make $50,000 a month. I work with 9-figure companies and I already generated millions. Basically what I do is I just, make people sell more. So hopefully with this video, you can be one of those special individuals who become better. Let's begin the video by understanding a very simple reason, a very simple concept, which is the prospect's brain understands the information you're giving in two ways, the logical and the emotional. You probably heard about this. There's the logical brain and the emotional brain, all right? It is extremely important that we use both. I mean, the logical brain, it is targeted with the words that I am saying. For example, you're watching this video because the words that I am saying are relevant. You say, okay, I'm going to learn something that is useful. But at the same time, because I am using an interesting tonality and I'm using body language as well, you stay tuned. You are emotionally invested into this. There is an impact because if I start talking to you like this, it won't be long until you just click off. My point is, there is a combination, and if you're able to master both, you will be able to become a great communicator. You will be able to master tonality in a way that it will help you to close a lot more, okay? So I want to make this clear. In order to convince someone, you do not need to leverage just one. You do not need to become an expert at the words you say. It's not about reciting poetry. And on the other side, you do not have to leverage having the most crazy tonality in the planet. And no, you have to leverage both. And you don't have to do it in any of those in excess. Okay? So using the right words is not enough. You need to persuade the emotional side as well by using your tonality. So the way your tonality works is that you're going to use your voice, and that is going to affect how the other person feels about yourself, about him, about the company, about the influencer, and the services that you're providing. Okay? So it is extremely important that you master it, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So let's begin with something very simple, which is the tonality pillars. There are more things, but I'm going to really summarize this up because this is going to be probably a long video. So I want all of you to really focus right now. So I'm going to make it simple. We're going to focus on 3 pillars. The pillar number 1 is going to be pacing. Okay. These are the pillars that build up tonality. And the first one is pacing, AKA how fast do you speak? You will have 3 levels on this, okay? You have the fast way of speaking, you have the slow way of speaking, and you have the level. It's called level. You're going to see what that means. I'm going to give you examples of each so that you can really understand, okay? Let's say that I start talking to you like this. Eventually, I try to explain the point on my YouTube and tell you to subscribe, until you like, until you're going to learn a lot of things with tonality, and it won't be long until you're like, what the fuck is he even saying? Because I am speeding up so much that it's like, what? Are you okay? Do you just snorted meth or something? Right? It's like, the more you push it, the weirder it gets. And the point here is that, how can you use this in an effective way and not like a crackhead, right? So, unless you want to be Eminem, you never want to push the tonality that far. You never want to push this pacing that far. But I want you to understand that starting to speak really fast like I'm doing right now is very important so that you can accelerate on points that are not really that relevant. So a great example on this is when you're doing the pitch and the prospect, you see that there are parts of the pitch that are not that relevant to the prospect, because this happens in every pitch. If you see that for the specific prospect that you have in front, there's a part in your pitch that is non-applicable at all, for example, or extremely low, of course you're going to say it, but you're going to say it like this so that it doesn't take a lot of time. And also that shift in speed brings attention. So the whole point is that I want you to use this selectively. I want you to use this in an eloquent way that will allow you to gain attention and move through the points quicker, okay? Now, if you overdo this and you start talking like this all the time through the whole video, like I will be doing right now, eventually people will be lost, okay? The prospect is gonna be lost and he's just gonna be distracted. He will be confused on why you're speaking like this and you're gonna lose him. So don't do that. Another example is when people are speaking too loud, too quickly like this, it's because they're just insecure. You know, they're nervous. They're insecure and they're nervous. It's just they're anxious, right? And you kind of want to avoid someone like this because it's like it shows a lot of insecurity, and that is very difficult for you to trust him. So it's extremely important that you're able to maintain yourself grounded. And I'm not saying that you can never speak fast like I'm doing right now so that I can make this point quicker. But you have to realize that if you overdo it, you also sound like you're at a low level, and the trust that you're building completely off the window. And without trust, there's no sell. Okay? That's with the fast pacing. Now, the slow pacing, it's more like I'm gonna make it like this. I don't want you to overdo it. There's some people especially in the sales game, that overdo this, and they kind of sound retarded, right? So I don't want you to speak like this. You might see that some people push this idea, but if you do it, what do you really believe? Like genuinely, what do you believe? Yeah, it's. Imagine I do the whole video like this. I'm just retarded. What is going on with me? Am I autistic? What's happening, right? So there's obviously moments and moments to do it. I don't want you to be like becoming autistic out of nowhere. So the slow talking has purposes, but you have to know how to do it. If you overdo it, you're retarded. If you're doing it for too long, prospects are going to get bored. Again, me explaining the point to you like this. Imagine I made the whole video talking like this. I mean, you're probably watching this video in 2x already, or 1.5. So imagine how slow that is in real life in a call. People are going to be like, yeah, I'm out. People are not even going to be paying attention to you, man. They won't. So when you speak slow, it has to be a purpose. It has to be a meaning. There has to be a reason, right? Otherwise, attention will be lost, and with it, the sell. And I don't know, just don't overdo it. It's just I don't want you to be autistic, because there's so many people following this advice. Don't do that, okay? The slow tonality is useful to accentuate points. So if I want to say something that is extremely important, like the fact that I have a little globe spinning in there for no reason, if I just say it like that, it has a normal point. If I say, hey, there's a globe and they're spinning for no reason, it's like, okay, it doesn't have that much of an impact. But now if I say it, there's a globe there spinning for no reason. Do you see how that hits different already? So when you slow down, the impact of your words have a severity that is insane. So use this to accentuate stuff and not necessarily just for the kicks of it, okay? This helps you put severity into the topic that you're discussing. So, for example, if you're talking about pains, this is a great thing to do. If you're talking about desires, it's way better to just, let's speed them up. Pains are action takers. Desires can help, of course. They're useful to gather data, but it's not the number one thing that you really want to focus on, okay? So I just want to make that clear. Now, keep in mind that also, the slower you talk, the more of an authority you look. It's not the same if I'm talking to you like this, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube video, blah, blah, blah. Then if I am saying, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube video. So you see, it's an authority immediately. It changes the way, so you need to learn how to use it. But again, don't overdo it for fuck's sakes. And now we have the third one, which is level. Level is basically normal speaking, okay? You don't want to use it all the time, because if I am speaking like this in a level way and I just keep explaining things to you through the whole video and I change absolutely nothing with it, your attention will be lost because there's no pattern interrupts, there's no changes. It's just monotone, okay? So that's why you got to speak fast sometimes, and that's why you got to speak slow sometimes. But the point is that you don't do this. You don't change from fast to slow in like a second. Of course, I'm doing it now on purpose so that you guys can see the difference. But ideally, you want to go from level to fast, from fast to level, from level to slow, slow to level, level to fast, and so on. Is this making sense? Hopefully. It's like a buffer. It's in the middle of those two, and you have to use it all the time, okay? Now, obviously, you don't want to overdo it because people are going to, lose attention. There will be nothing special about you, and, you're not going to create any type of emotions on the prospect. But keep in mind, it's excellent for transitioning from speaking really fast to speaking really slow. Okay, so hopefully that is clear on this part. Now, that is the pacing, which is also called cadence, all right? This is an extra. I'm going to link it here because let's say that we take speed to 0, silence. Silence is a big part of tonality. Now you might say, dude, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not talking. What do you mean? Silence is the negative, okay? There's no light without darkness. There's no darkness without light. And it's the same in here. Silence is an extremely powerful creature that no one really uses. Imagine you're on a call and you have the balls to just stay silent at moments. It's weird, isn't it? You're not expecting it. So even the lack of sound can be a great pattern interrupt. You don't always necessarily have to talk quickly. There is, in sales, after training so much, I learned very good things. One of those things is that you never reply to what people say, you respond to what people say. And basically the difference is that you think, you elaborate, you say the stuff that it's needed. But in order to do so, you need time. And silence buys you that time. If you said something very complex to me, I'm going to pause. I'm going to give 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds of silence. And I'm going to talk to you. I'm not going to overdo it like a retard, but I'm going to use it if necessary. It builds momentum. It makes you feel powerful. It creates shattering moments. That, I don't know why I'm speaking like GPT out of nowhere, but that is literally what this does. So use the silence. And you can even see it when I am speaking in this video. I'm on purpose making silences. I'm on purpose speaking fast. I'm on purpose speaking slow. And I'm using level. I'm using the 4 all at the same time. I'm consistently changing them so that you can realize how important this is and how much I can engage you by just doing this. I'm not even talking about anything relevant right now. But the fact that I am changing tonality so much, the fact that I'm creating all these discrepancies is keeping you engaged. And if you master to do this, especially in the pitch, which is where people get bored as fuck, oh man, it's fucking awesome, okay? So one more thing on the silence is, this is a phrase I love. If you don't know what to say, shut up. Don't be a slave of premature words, okay? All right, that's with the silence. Let's just drop into the next stage, which is, we already got the pace and the cadence done, plus the silence. Now, the second one is volume, okay? It's basically how much space your voice takes. Obviously, again, we're going to have 3 levels. We're going to have loud, we're going to have quiet, and we're going to have level. Loud is basically to enhance a desire, make a firm point, stand out in a way that is not cringe. I'm going to explain that. So it's also incredibly powerful to engage people. But again, there are levels that you have to respect. I making this video for you right now, I'm using a slightly higher level than when I use when I'm speaking. When I'm speaking normally, I speak like this. It's very neutral. This is level, which basically would be 90% of a conversation, okay? Like this is level. This is me talking normally. This is how you should speak at the majority of the time. There are moments though, like I am doing on this YouTube video, that I should use a bit of a louder impact so that I'm like, okay, I need to pay attention now. But if I overdo it completely like I am doing now, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? So don't overdo it, okay? But it's really nice to enhance the desire of a prospect. It's like, oh, you really want to go to Dubai? It's just like, you're going to speak a little bit louder. Or you want to make a firm point. Dude, you cannot stay like you are. My only warning with this is that I don't want you to invoke authority with that. You're not going to invoke authority by yelling. Don't make that mistake. And with sales and with life, you invoke authority with the opposite. I'm going to explain it in a second. Do not do that, okay? Awesome. Then you have the quiet one, okay? It's like whispering. Basically, the problem with this one is that it signals low confidence if you do it all the time. So if I start speaking like this to all of you, it will be, well, I don't sound like very confident, right? Even though I'm speaking normally, but my tone is, my volume is so low that it doesn't convey authority at all or any type of confidence. So you need to be careful with that. You can use it strategically for two things that I like. One is to create empathy. So if you told me, I don't know, your grandma died, I'm going to tell you, wow, I'm terribly sorry, man. Do you need anything? I'm gonna reduce the tone a bit, okay? And the other thing that I like to do is to command authority. I know it seems pretty contradictory, but because everyone tries to convey authority by yelling, if you do it the opposite, you win. So, for example, let's say you're arguing with someone, or with a prospect, with a family member, with a friend, I don't know, try it, you'll see. Let's say they yell at you, like they yell super angry. If you reply to them in a quiet, whispered way, they're going to be super pissed off and they're not going to do it. You say something like, to say they just did yelling at you, right? And you say, hey, are you okay? It's like you just make them feel so stupid. Really. So authority is commanded by lowering your voice when the other person is shouting like crazy. So it's a nice trick to use. And you can use it on sales. Don't make the prospect feel like an idiot on purpose. It's more like, are you okay, man? Okay? It's not like you're challenging them to fight more. Don't be a dickhead. So, yeah. And then obviously you have level, which is the normal conversation that you should have. I want you to use that the majority of the time. Maybe I am speaking a bit louder because this is a video. It serves a different purpose. But when you're talking with a prospect, there's no need for you to talk like this. You can just talk like this normally. Hey, Mr. Prospect, how's it going? Great meeting you, man. So, you see, that's pretty much what you want to do. All right. So that is with part number 2, which is basically, volume. So let's talk about part number 3, the third pillar, which is going to be inflection. Okay. I'll make this in a simple way because there's multiple ways to analyze this that are confusing as fuck. So I'll make it very simple. It's basically how you end your sentences. Okay. So if you end high, on a high note, it sounds like a question and it lacks authority. So if I start speaking to you like this, would you believe that I know what I am doing? It's kind of weird, isn't it? Are you liking my YouTube video? So do you see, it's like I'm going so up that it's just everything is a question. Everything is a doubt. So how can I explain you something like this? Imagine you're explaining something in your pitch. And you're like, so this will help you make money? Are you ready to move with us? Do you think this will help you? You don't want to talk like this. It's really harmful. Okay? On the other side, the end low, which is when you finish your sentences on a low tonality, on a very low one, sounds like a statement. You want to use it to mark important points, but you don't want to talk like a politician, like Obama. I'll explain in a second. Basically, this talking with a low inflection, it will be talking like this. I'm about to explain you something. I hope you're liking my video. We are the solution for you. So do you see, it's like you're bringing it down and it feels like a statement. So this gives a lot of certainty. This gives a lot of authority, like I'm doing right now. The problem is that if you completely overdo it, you sound like a politician. It's what Obama used a lot, which is great for a speech, but not so great when you're talking with someone. Example, if I'm talking like this all the time to you, you will feel like I am attacking. You will feel like I am commanding. You will feel, do you understand? So if I overdo it, it feels like I'm already patronizing you. And unless you want to be patronized by me, it's not a good idea. So be careful on how to use it. You use it on important points and use the upward inflection when you want to ask a question or when you find out more something, when something is very positive, right? Like, hey, you want to make more money? Let's tell me about it. So you see? But if I say, hey, you want to make more money? It feels like, okay, is something wrong with that? Yeah, it's you can take it to the negative. That's the problem. So keep this in mind. And for fuck's sakes, never use this tool when you're dropping a price. So if you drop a price and you use any of these two, you're fucked. So for example, let's say I'm selling you something that is 10K. So the full price is going to be 10K. It's like it's zero credibility, zero authority. I don't even know what I'm saying. That doesn't give you confidence in putting that money. Maybe it doesn't do it consciously. Maybe consciously you're like, this guy used upward inflection, therefore I'm not going to believe him. It doesn't work that way. But subconsciously it does. So be careful of that. On the other side, if I use the downward tonality and I say, yeah, so for us to work together, the full investment is going to be 10K. It's like, oh shit, it's 10K, right? It's like a big thing. It's a massive thing now. Now I have to digest this. I'm in trouble. So do you see? You don't want to use this on the price. You want to be very casual, okay? It's like, yeah, it's going to be 10K. That's the tonality you use, okay? I'm going to explain this in a second, but this is what you want to do and not necessarily the other two. So please don't make that mistake. And obviously, using level, which is you speak normally without having to use an upward or a downward inflection. Like I'm talking right now, I'm not really using anything. And the whole point is that if you master how to speak normally and then make a statement, but at the same time being able to ask a question, you can really, really, really play with this. And you're going to be able to affect people's mind without them realizing it. It's incredible. How are you so far? You follow me on the video? You haven't got bored? All right, keep in mind because I still have more sauce to share. And not just that, but also I haven't told you the sad truth about sales and how this can be used to manipulate people. We're going to talk about that. In the meantime, don't forget to check down in the description. You're going to see that I have literally a free link so that you can join the Discord community where you can learn for free, asshole. Like literally, it's for free. You can just practice role plays. Watch my free calls that I do every Monday. You can ask me stuff live. So it's like, why the fuck are you not there? Anyways, commercial out. Let's keep going with the video, okay? There are other factors, like I said. I wanted to make this simple, so I only focus on just 3 things, the cadence, the pacing that you're using, the volume, and obviously the inflection, right? But there are other factors such as the melody, the rhythm, okay? There are more things on tonality, but this video is going to be 3 hours. And unless you're able to master tonality like I do right now, it's pointless for you to learn that. Like, first learn this, and then you can learn more about that. Don't overcomplicate it. So this should be simple. This should be not more complicated than what it is. So let's keep it like that. Anyways, just for you to know, what good tonality actually sounds like? It's a question that I get a lot because I explain to people how tonality is used. And once they understand it, like you right now for watching this video, you're going to be, okay, so what is actually a good tonality overall? How should I speak? right? And I would say it should change for obvious reasons. If, I don't know, you're with your friend and he says, yeah, my girlfriend just broke up with me, you're not going to be cheerful, right? I mean, so you have to adapt clearly. But overall, a good tonality is someone who can speak slowly, you know? He can be very direct, he can be calm, and he can be very casual. So if you're able to portray a tonality that displays those things, you will have great tonality in every game. But obviously, I want you to pay attention to what's in front. So the whole point is that all this portrays realness. It makes the conversation feel real. And this is the secret. This is actually the secret. If you're able to change tonalities when needed, without being autistic about it, you will never sound salesy. You will never sound like you're trying to convince people, and people will be able to relate with you a lot more, like an insane amount more. You should sound curious, and then like you're coaching people into a solution. Okay, this is for the overall sales side. Overall in life, just try to be real, do your best attempt. But when you're in calls, it's like by default, you want to be curious and you want to find out how you can help them to find a solution, right? And just with that mindset, you will be able to have a great tonality because you have a great mindset. The whole point is that if you pay attention to what's in front of you, you can immediately have a good tonality. So if I'm autistic and I'm always, okay, I should use this tonality now. I should use this volume. I should use this cadence. It's like, okay. But if I am actually very present in the moment, and this is something that I have learned from the best people in sales. It doesn't matter who they are, because I learned from a lot of them. And they all have different advices. But you know what separates the good ones from the bad ones? How present they are. They're not distracted. They're not writing fucking notes like crazy. They're just writing the important stuff. They're not looking other places. They're not looking at their phone. They're just like super focused on what's going on in front of them. They're really, really focused on what's going on in front of them. And because they're doing that, they are able to advance in a way that they have all the information, right? It's what I do. I am able to read prospects based on their tonality, their body language, their words, everything. It's because of how present I am. And that by default leads me to know what tonality I should use. So I can sense when the prospect is sad, and I have to use a tonality like this so I can build more rapport with him. I can tell when the prospect is really happy, so I may want to use a tonality like this, So it's like we can really get along. I can tell when I have to be more serious because the tonality, because the situation really merits it. And do you see my point? You have to be knowing what to use, but it's based on what you have in front, not based on, okay, I think right now I should use it. It's like, no, don't do that. It's literally, stop with the autistic game with tonality, okay? And I think I already explained this, but please don't overdo anything. Don't become Eminem, speaking super fast like I did in the previous example. And don't go with the advice to talk like this. What the fuck? Are you in a terror movie? Are you in like a horror movie that you speak like that? What's wrong with you? Don't do that. Okay? So this is the fun part, which is probably what you're going to like the most about the video. Forgive me, I'm coughing a lot. I'm sick. The types of tonality. And I'm going to be explaining them all to you so that you can see all the types that you have, okay? And by the way, I'm extremely sick and I'm able to do these tonalities like crazy. So this is why I'm saying you can really learn how to use this as well, okay? But again, don't be fixated on, I have to force a tonality. Don't do that. But keep in mind that tonality is super important. So let's jump into the types of tonality. You're going to like this. The first one is going to be the curious tonality, curiosity, okay? You say something and you add an upward inflection. Usually you want to squint your eyes, move your head a bit, not in an exaggerated way, just a little bit. it will make people believe that you're trying to understand them. Okay. And this makes the prospect open up more because he feels, oh, he wants to understand me. I have to say more things. Okay. And also it helps you to challenge people very casually. So let's say the prospect said to me that he wants to lose weight, but he's like 70 pounds. I'm going to be confused, right? So first, if I'm just confused because I'm trying to understand, I'm going to say, so you want to lose more weight? That's the curious. You want to lose more weight? Because I'm genuinely curious. What the hell? But let's say now that I have someone who is really fat, like 300 pounds, and the prospect says, I don't want to lose weight. I can use the same to challenge a bit. So I can say, you don't want to lose weight? Okay, you're getting the point? The curious tonality is perfect to challenge people because it's not like, dude, you're fat. Like, you're not going to say that. But if you say, you don't want to lose weight? So it's that upward inflection, okay, that makes people say, yeah, you know what? You know, it's a great way for people to have to justify themselves to you. It's a great interrogation technique, so use it more. Let's talk about the second one. I'm just naming them in whatever order I'm just remembering, so don't feel like there's a specific order here. The second one is it's my favorite. Well, actually, I have two favorites. You're going to see it. It's the empathy one, which is basically, I genuinely believe that is the most powerful one because it creates a lot of rapport and trust, which is when I'm able to speak to you like this because I really understand your pain. I know that you struggle a lot. I know that your life wasn't easy, but I'm here for you. So it's that empathy tonality, okay? That it makes the people really believe you and trust you. And if you want to seduce some ladies, try that one. Works pretty well. Don't overdo it like a dumbass, but works pretty well. Now, let's go with the third one, challenging. Challenging is basically when you want to address the point. And I would recommend, if you don't know how to do it, ask permission. Like, hey, can I challenge you on something? Hey, can I ask you a difficult question? Hey, can I be direct with you? Can I be real with you? I have something to tell you, but it might be personal. Can I do it? Like, ask for permission. And then you challenge, which is basically, again, the example of the fat guy who doesn't want to lose fat. I'm going to say, dude, what are you telling me when you mean you don't want to lose fat? You're fat. So you see, it's like you're challenging people now. Do not do this from the get-go. This is more for an advanced conversation. Like, time already passed. The person already trusts you. You already earned the right to do this. Don't do it immediately because you're going to really fuck up the call. Okay? Next one. Level. Neutral. Which is something that you should be more in the... I don't use this as a default. I'm going to show you what is the default that I use when I'm on calls. But level is great because you don't always need to use a tonality. The fact that you're not using a tonality, like pretty much I'm doing right now, it's great so that when you actually use it, there's a contrast. Because if out of nowhere I start to challenge you, like, what do you mean, dude? Or out of nowhere I start like, bro, I'm not really understanding you. That actually creates a contrast, and it's very easy for you to understand that and see it, right? However, when it comes to you overdoing this, it's again monotone, right? So always use it, but use it as the buffer. Like I explained in the previous examples, this is the way you use level all the time, in everywhere, okay? So then, next one, certainty. Certainty is when you want to explain a point that you're sure about. So let's say you know you can help the guy lose fat. Let's say you know you can help the person make money. So basically what you can say is, I know this will help you make money. I know with this you're going to lose fat. I know if you stop shoving burgers down your throat, you're going to lose fat. I know if you put in the work, you're going to make more money. So do you see? It's like I'm making a statement. It's like I'm very certain about it. Another one that you have to make, and I really like to make this ones on the pitch, especially when I'm making my high-level promise, which is what I'm really giving for the prospect, or I'm talking about a result, or I'm talking about social proof like a testimonial. It's really good to use this one because it shows absolute proof, absolute certainty. Okay? The next one, which is my other favorite one, which is the one that I use all the time. It's my default one, which is the real tonality. This one makes you extremely detached from everything. So you can tell many things from me, but when you're in a call with me, you cannot tell me that I am salesy. It's impossible. And it's never because what I am saying, it's because the tonality I'm using. I'll give you the example of what the real tonality looks like. It's, okay, man, I mean, it really looks like you wanted to do this, but then at the same time, you told me that you're kind of doubting it. So I don't know. What's really there, man? Just talk to me. I mean, you can be honest with me. So do you see? Having that real tonality makes it, I'm not salesy. I don't give a shit, right? And if you're able to do that, holy fuck, you can say whatever you want. I can literally win away with everything in my sales calls because I am real by default. Super powerful. I recommend everyone to master this because it's great. It's fucking great. Next one. We have concern tonality. The concern tonality is basically to create a bit more empathy, to create a little bit more of trust, to show that you're putting their needs over yours, which is, wow, you're 300 pounds? For how long have you been like this, man? So you see that you're concerned for them. And this develops a lot of trust. And again, it helps you to not sound salesy, okay? Because a salesy guy would be, oh, so you're 300 pounds? You see the difference? So there's opportunity in that tonality. And I want you to see, that is the opportunistic tonality. But don't do that one. For everything, it's the worst. The opportunistic tonality is basically, so let's say how can I make a terrible example on this? Let's say you have a friend, and that friend has a beautiful girlfriend, right? And they broke up. And let's say that you're that piece of shit of a man who goes for that, but for that piece of ass. Let's say you're that piece of a shit. You're going to talk to her like, hey, are you still dating John? Is that opportunistic tonality? It's like, don't do that one. In anything, by the way, in anything, don't do that. It makes you sound needy, desperate. Don't do that shit. Don't. Okay? For fuck's sakes. I'm teaching. Anyways, so that's the concern one, all right? And the opportunistic. Now, let's talk about I like to call it the intrigued at a high level, which is basically curiosity, but with a lot of anxiety, right? It's useful to make people feel hyped about a desired state. So it's like, so you're gonna do this? So you're gonna make a leap and make a lot of money? You gotta be careful on how you're using it because it can sound salesy, but under the right circumstance, and if there's some type of trust, you can absolutely do it, right? So again, another tool for your arsenal there. Another one, it's the secretive one. The secretive tonality, it's more like when there's something that portrays urgency, scarcity, something that it should not be there. For example, when I'm on my calls, and let's say I want to, all of you know by now that I sell coaching programs, right? So right now I'm on a fitness offer, and I'm able to sell a fitness program, right? And I say something to the people who are really interested. I use the secretive tonality, and I say, hey, you know what? I'll show you a sneak peek. Just don't tell my boss. I'm gonna get my ass kicked. So you speak like that, right? It's like, you know what? I'll show you something. It gives that intimacy, that secrecy. Is like, oh, there's something interesting in here. This is forbidden. This shouldn't happen. And people really like that. So use it, but only use it a few times. Don't be, again, part of this training is for you to realize that you don't have to be autistic with this because it's really easy to be. So next one, it's the upbeat tonality, which is basically the motivational speaker, the useful to enhance leadership, which is, I know you want to do this, man. We have talked for 40 minutes. I know you want to change your body. I know you want to have the life you always wanted. I know you want to have the women. I know you want to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I have a damn good body. So what are you going to do today? Are you going to work with me and change your body and become the person that you always could be? Or are you going to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am a disappointment? So you see, I use a lot of upbeat there, and it's like, boom, I killed it with a downward. So the whole point with that is that, again, you're not going to overdo it, and you have to be careful on when you use it. But if you use it correctly, holy shit, this is beautiful as well to motivate people, especially before you drop the price or when you want them to overcome an objection. Holy shit, this is beautiful. So that's one. Then we have there's so many. Reassuring. We have the reassuring one, which basically is to control the fear, right? It's like, hey man, I know this is complicated, but I'm here for you. Okay? It's very similar to the empathetic one that you're basically building trust. But the point here is that you're just using it with just the purpose of reassuring is, hey, it's okay. I know it's difficult, but I'm here for you. You're reassuring them, okay? The next one is obviously the coach one. I kind of use this a lot as well, which is basically not aggressive, but firm, which is, dude, if you want to be successful, you got to take this action. If you want to take action, you got to do this first. If you want to change your life, you got to do, it's like you're giving an advice with a firm hand, but you're not excessively aggressive, okay? Which takes me to, obviously, the commander tonality, which is do this. If you catch this, when you go back into the YouTube video, I remember now, like pretty much at minute 1, I don't know, you can see, I say stay. That's commanding. That's the commander, okay? Absolute certainty. It's imperative. Do this. I'm not sure. I'm probably missing something. I have 2 more in mind, which is the future pacing, which is obviously, so this is very useful to gather information. I really like it on that aspect. I'm not a big fan of playing with desires all day. I really hate, the typical examples of, and this is, so you can see also how the future pacing tonality is. So imagine we're 6 months from now having dinner at a luxurious hotel, and you say to me how good life is. Would you like that place? So that's the future pacing tonality. Future pacing like this, I think, is shit. It's cringy as fuck. So I do not recommend you to use this in sales. There's good ways of using future pacing. I don't think this one is. I think it's great to gather information like, so what do you want to do? So you have the money. Well, what's happening in the future, man, with that money? And now I know that if he says he wants to buy a car, it's like, okay, what car do you have now? Oh, you don't have a car. It's like, boom, I'm going to turn that into pain. And with pain, I'm going to turn pain into action. And with action, I'm going to close the deal. So little golden nugget in there, hidden. And the last one, it's playful teasing. Playful teasing is basically to challenge people in a softer way, because sometimes you're going to have to. So let's say the prospect says, no, you know what? I'm really happy with making 10K a month. And he lives in the UK. 10K USD is not much there. So I'm going to say, come on, man, you're really happy with that? It's like a playful teasing. If I have someone who is 300 pounds, we're going to go back to that example, and the prospect says, I kind of like my body. I'm going to say, come on, you like your body? You're 300 pounds. Be real with me, right? Be careful on how to use it. Of course, you gotta see the situation, but the playful teasing is a great way for you to drive a point home without really being offensive, right? It's more like, just tell me the truth. What's going on? So use this, because if I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting some tonality. I don't think I did, but there's a lot of them. But anyways, with all the shit that I just gave you, it's like, yeah, your brain is literally about to explode. So we're going to call it a day on that one. So let's end it like this. Tactical fixes so you can improve. Specific points that I want you to remember as well. I want you to pause more, okay? I don't want you to have to speak like this all the time because you feel nervous or because you feel like you have to take the point as fast as possible because the people are going to feel like you're not competent enough. It's like, no, don't do that. Pause more. It is fine. It's also going to help you to avoid sounding like a retard. This obviously is my personal opinion. You don't have to agree. But you know what is the number one trait that I see so I can know when people is incompetent? People who say, when they're speaking. Um, uh, I think that's just literally incompetence. Don't be that guy. Uh, Obviously, if you're talking with me, you know I don't like that. But it doesn't matter if you're talking with me. You're talking with anyone else. The doesn't contribute anything. Just stay silent and then say your words. You're gonna be way more impactful. Okay. Another one is I want you to speak with absolute clarity, like you're talking to a 6-year-old. Like, I'm not saying that you have to dumb down the words. It's just make it really clear. Like I'm saying the things to you right now. If you really see, I'm using complex words, but at the same time, it's super easy to understand me because I am being very clear with what I'm saying. So you should be aiming for the same every time you're speaking. Okay. And I don't want shitty excuses of, oh, but English is not my first language. It's like, well, neither is mine. So stop. Who gives a fuck? Finally, I want you to listen to yourself talking. Okay? There's a lot of advice on this, which kind of concerns me because the advice is that I think it's perfect to review your calls. You should do it. You shouldn't review all your calls. It's going to take forever. But let's say one call a day, beautiful. Review it and see it. The mistake I don't like is that you should, in a whole call of 40 minutes, you should only listen and then you should only see and then you should watch the whole thing. Don't do that because it's going to take forever. You don't have that much time. Watch the whole call once, take some notes, pay attention to how you're speaking, pay attention to how you move, pay attention to everything. But don't overdo that. It's like, I don't know, casual advice that I'm just dropping for no fucking reason. But again, important. So review your own calls. Just don't be autistic again. All right. How to use tonality then? So we can summarize this insanely long fucking video. Jesus. Well, I don't want you to force it. I don't want you to be a retard. I want you to use the tonality that naturally will be there for the situation. And you can know it. Believe me. When I give you this insane list of tonalities, but I'm not thinking, oh, right now I should use the opportunistic tonality. I don't do that. Like, I understand them, I studied them, obviously, but then when I am talking with the person in front of me, I'm saying, okay, what makes more sense? And that's it. So you should do the same. It's also easier, okay? And now we got to the final point that I made you wait. What is the sad truth about this? Well, the sad truth is that the sales coaches are telling you that you can manipulate people, that you can close everyone with this. And the reality is that it's a fucking lie, okay? You're not going to become Machiavelli just because you know how to use tonality. Stop. You're not going to do that, okay? I'll give you an example. Let's say that I want you to like this video. If I use different tonalities, it's not like you're going to, I have to do it now. He got me. It doesn't work that way. So if I say, hey, you have to like this video, versus, hey, you have to like this video, versus, hey, I have to like this video, versus, hey, you have to like this video. Hey, you have to like this video. Hey, do you have to like this video? I can do this all day. But because I use a tonality, it won't be enough for you to say, I have to now. Yeah, he got me. He used downward tonality combined with opportunistic ones. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay? What's really important is that by using a good tonality, you slowly build up something in their minds. And if you're able to do that, it's like a compounding effect, but it takes a while. But it's not that if you speak in a certain way, people are going to jump off a bridge or people are going to give you all their money if they don't want to. It's a combination of things. It's what I said in the beginning. It's a combination of the words plus the tonality. The tonality alone is not going to make you be a master manipulator. So the sad truth is that everyone tells you that with good tonality, you can control people and manipulate. It's like, no, what the fuck? It helps a lot. It's an insanely good tool, okay? But it's just that it's the same as saying that Just because you could be attractive, you could be with any girl you want. I mean, of course, it's going to help you. But if you're a complete imbecile who's rude and who's dirty, I don't know, you're not going to get women. So hopefully with that analogy, women analogy, you can understand. Anyways, I think this is an insane long ass video right now. So don't forget to put a like on it. And I will see you in the next one. And remember, confidence is bigger than skills. So raise your fucking balls and claim victory.